Long gone are the days where you have to show up everywhere in order to promote who you are as a person. Whether you're an author or a course creator, I'm here to tell you that using social media can change your life. Now, I know for some people, the process of using social media, the best approaches and strategies can be overwhelming, but I am going to share a super brief plan that you can begin to implement as early as today to really show up for your audience and use social media with intention. All right, first things first, you got to understand who your audience is. Is it men? Is it women? Is it younger people? Is it older people? And what kind of content intrigues them? For some people, this can be overwhelming because you're like, I don't know what's interesting to them. Take a look at somebody who's a big name with your audience. Is it a coach? Is it an author? Is it somebody who teaches? Look at somebody that is a big name in your audience and look at the people that are engaging on their page. Are they engaging with story posts? Are they engaging with just written posts? Are they engaging with blogs or YouTubes or podcasts? Try to determine what your audience is engaging with and what content really stands out for them. Next thing is you'll want to create a goal for your posting. The biggest mistake I see people that use social media make is that they just post for the sake of posting. It's almost like, all right, I posted today, check it off a to-do list, but you gotta post with intention. And the best way to post is using a lot of different ideas. So one, you want to post to really highlight your level of expertise. So share different statistics, share different testimonials, share different things that you have learned that you're teaching your audience, right? You want to post to show people who you are. So do behind the scenes posts. This is more about me and who I am. Also post to purchase, right? Post the things that you want your audience to purchase and let them know why they should purchase it. Let them know why it matters for them, what it's going to do for them. Also, just post a little bit of like general things. Sometimes I'll post a picture of my meal or I'll post a picture of something I'm doing with my children. But I want to show people that I'm also human behind the scenes because ultimately when people purchase from you, they're not just purchasing the product or the book or the course. They're purchasing with the intention to be able to connect with you on a deeper level. So show who you are. The best way to post is to take an approach that incorporates all of that. A lot of times people make the mistake of where they're just asking people to buy, or they're just showing what they're doing behind the scenes without really bringing it full circle, or they only show their level of expertise but never tell anybody what to do with it. So the best approach is to use a combination of all of the above. The next step is to create a posting schedule that can be consistent. So after you've identified your audience, you've identified what your goal of posting and showing up on social media will be, you'll want to create a schedule. And what I mean by schedule is you're going to want to create, all right, what time of day are you going to post? Is it going to be Monday through Friday? Is there a certain routine about it that on Mondays you'll be posting something motivational, on Tuesday you'll post something transformational or a tip, on Wednesday it'll be a wellness overview? Create a routine because that is going to help you to be more successful with posting more intentionally and more regularly. Also, along with creating the routine, you're going to want to determine where you want to post to begin with. You do not want to overwhelm yourself and feel like you have to post on every social media account that's out there. While I will highly recommend that you'll want to create an account with every single social media platform, personally, I believe that you should pick 2 to 3 that you can show up more intentionally with. So for me, I love YouTube because it's a great way for people to connect with me in video format and hear from me. I also love Facebook and Instagram because again, this is where my audience typically is. And then I've also added a 4th account, which is brand new, which is my podcast. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Dr. Nicolia Show. I am utilizing these 4 platforms very intentionally. I started off using the 3, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and being very intentional about showing up there, showing my audience who I was, highlighting myself as an expert, asking them things to buy, showing behind the scenes and upcoming opportunities and events and ways to connect with me. And then I added on podcasts because I realized that much of my audience was really engaging with other podcasts. And so I knew that would be a great platform for me to step into. So take a moment and determine where your audience is and where you need to show up most intentionally. If you notice, I didn't say some of the big name ones like Twitter. My audience isn't typically on Twitter. That's not to say that your audience isn't on Twitter or LinkedIn or Snapchat or TikTok or anywhere else. You have to be strategic about knowing where your audience is and showing up there to meet them and support them the best you can. Now, the next step is to get to creating. For a lot of people, this can be extremely overwhelming. Like, okay, where do I begin? What do I do? Start with my whole concept that questions are content. Think of questions that your audience has asked you before. What does your audience want to know more of? What are they asking you to share about? Start creating content around those questions. And I'm going to give you some amazing strategies that'll help you create content pretty quickly. So let's say, for example, you have a question that your audience has asked you about how to incorporate yoga into a busy lifestyle, right? You can take that one question and create multiple forms of content. You could take that one question and make a podcast episode about that. You could make a blog post about that. You can make a YouTube video or a social media post, or send out an email blurb to your blast to your total list. The problem that I see is that people will take one question, create one form of content, and then they feel like they're running out of content. I'm a big advocate about using one question or one piece of content and really expanding it using all the different ways and platforms that you meet your audience on. You may be thinking, what if an audience sees something 2 different times? That's okay. How many times have you read the same book twice? How many times have you watched the same movie twice and still ended up with 2 different outcomes or 2 different things that really were highlighted in those movies or those books for you? It's the same thing. So if someone watches your YouTube video, they may interpret it very different than they interpreted your blog. But more importantly, you may have that audience that didn't really see your post on Facebook, but now they had an opportunity to connect with the email that you sent them. So don't ever be scared to repurpose the content that you have. Overall, social media is going to be your best friend in really highlighting who you are as an expert and really getting in front of your audience, of being more intentional about showcasing your skills and your passion with the world. So do not try to skip it. Don't even try to overcomplicate it. Start very simplistic with what I shared today and start to implement it. The biggest mistake you can make is to listen to this video, check it off a list, and walk away. I'm challenging you to do something different. I'm challenging you to show up with what you learned. Take this information and apply it and watch how things shift. Until next time, I will chat with you guys later.